What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. No intro. Last night was a night of snubs. Let's talk about the snubs, man. Mainly, the Defensive Player of the Year award to Myles Garrett. But let's talk about real quickly. I'm not even going to talk about it in depth, but Antonio Gates not being a first round Hall of Famer is crazy to me. He was he was amazing watching him play. I definitely thought he was a walk in, a shoe in for the first round ballot. Didn't happen. That's definitely sucked for him and his family. I definitely thought he would be in on the first ballot. So that sucks for him not getting in last night. Coach of the Year, Kevin Stefanski, did a great job with the Browns, no doubt about it. Lost to Sean Watson for most of the year, and he played terrible when he was playing anyway. Then Nick Chubb was gone early during the year as well, two of the star players. I dig it. I love it. No question about it. And also big ups to him as well because I had him on the hot seat during the summer of last year. Doing videos for the predictions for the upcoming season. I had Stefanski possibly being fired, but he ended up being coach of the year. So great for him. Shout out to him. But man, over the Miko Ryans, over Shane Steichen, over Dan Campbell, I don't know. I don't know, man. Those three other men did a great job as well. But let's get into the biggest, the most egregious of them all, in my personal opinion, and that's T.J. Watt losing out to Myles Garrett in the Defensive Player of the Year award. Let's talk about it, guys. So, I seen the numbers, I seen the stats. You see the name of the channel, Stats Free Sports. I do not care about stats. I watched the film. And this time, the film does not lie. TJ Watt should have won this award, no question about it. I don't know who voted, how they voted. I didn't see the tally or the final vote, but man, oh man, um, I don't know what happened. And I've been saying this about Myles Garrett for a long time. Heck of a talent, heck of a heck of a prospect, heck of a body profile, but he always seems to fall short. He just never really meets, to me, in my personal expectations for him. Not being a Browns fan, I'm way on the East Coast, I'm a Falcons fan, but always seeing Myles Garrett and hearing about him, people talking about him, oh man, he's a legit, yeah, he's good, but he never really shows up and shows out for a full season. And this year to me was no different. It really wasn't. Had a great first half of the season, was tracking to be the player of the year, the defensive player of the year, no question about it. But when that halfway mark hit, week 10, week 11, he pulled a Stephon Diggs. His stats went from great to just trash. And it was like he fell off the face of the earth, excuse me. And I don't know what happened. Was it injury? Uh, I'm not. Was it just fatigue of playing so hard the first half of the season? Was it double teams hitting them? I'm not sure. But Myles Garrett fell off the face of the earth. His stats, his film didn't look great. Couldn't really beat double teams as much as he used to. First half of the season must have been an injury. Look, I respect to all these guys, and it's no diss. These players play banged up for a full season. Us, me talking, people listen to me talk, people comment negatively about them. We'll never experience, or not never, but we have not experienced at the pro level what these guys have. Playing banged up, expect to play in front of millions of people. A lot in the stands, a lot on online and watching from the TV. You're expected to play like a god every week. And it's tough. I get it. Trust me, I respect it. But when you're paid that much, what Spider-Man say, with power comes with great responsibility. You got to show up, and T.J. Watt showed up. He showed up when he was active. He was playing. That's every year, and you always see it when T.J. Watt's not playing. The Steelers have no chance. Basically, when he plays, the offense is trash. The defense still wins the game sometimes for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's like crazy. He calls a forced fumble. He calls a strip sack. He calls back-to-back sacks. He calls pressures, and Alex Highsmith on the other side swallows it up. He calls pressure. Him and Alex Highsmith calls pressure. Cam Hayward or someone from the middle swallows it up. Gets a sack, strip sack, fumble. I'm like pick six, interception. I'm like it always happens every game for the Steelers when Watt is involved. And you see it when he's out the game or when he's hurt. the Steelers defense and the offense still trash. The defense doesn't show up really, So it's like I don't know how this didn't go to T.J. Watt. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But hearing what Micah Parsons said, and people hopped on his case real quick when he responded and gave his input on it because I believe he finished third. He finished a close third. Well, I don't know close. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I didn't see the voting, but he was third. So close enough for me to be number one. But he kind of defended it and said Myles Garrett was the best one, and fans hopped on his case like you are crazy. And his main point, at least what he mentioned on Twitter or X, his main point of defending Myles Garrett was double team. And this is where my beef with PFF is. Like I said, stat analytics, they're not my thing. I like film. I like watching it, what my eye shows me. But if you know what the PFF stat shows, it doesn't account for outside linebackers being chipped, with tight ends and running backs. And that's what Watt is. Myles Garrett plays hand in the dirt. He's a DN. Micah Parsons normally plays hands in the dirt for the most part. He's a DN. But TJ Watt is an outside linebacker that doesn't count the chips as quote unquote double team. So they're not going to count in his favor on that end. And also, Watt does drop back in coverage more times than Garrett and Parsons does. So that leads his numbers to not be straight up pass rushing like Garrett's would be. Garrett's a straight up pass rusher for the most part. You might see a stunt here and there, but you'll rarely ever see him drop back in coverage more than 5 times a game. With Watt, you'll definitely see that. So, but overall, man, crazy voting. Sucky for Antonio Gates. He didn't get in first ballot. I thought he was well deserving. Sucky for the other coaches, but like I said, Kevin Stefanski did a great job. I can't lie. I like Schwartz getting assistant coach of the year. That defense was balling all year except for the playoffs. So it's like, I'm not mad at those, but the defensive player of the year to Myles Garrett, that's crazy. That's a little bonkers to me. Watt, Parsons, even Max Crosby, who had no first round votes. I did see on Twitter, no first place votes. And I think Max Crosby, I apologize. He was probably the most disruptive defensive player, at least as far as the front seven goes. But your record dictates how far you go and how much voting you get. But Crosby, to me, might be the best one out of all of them. But he got no first place vote. So, it's always, even back in the NBA, with NBA, I can't even talk so late at night. NBA MVP voting, LeBron's best player in the game every year, Kobe, or whatever you think it is. But it's all about storyline, all about narrative, all about, sometimes politics. And Watt, to me, is clearly better than Myles Garrett. Parsons, to me, is clearly better than Myles Garrett, who they're all great in their own right. But I think Watt edges out both. I think Parsons edges out Garrett. Garrett is talented, but, to me personally, doesn't really have a full body of work for a full season. And I think that's where, Watt, you can say for him as well because the injuries, sometimes towards the end of the season or in the middle of the season, he gets banged up and misses a good stretch here and there sometimes. But overall, Watt's impact is felt. He has to show up dang near every game where Garrett, surrounded by a better defense, more playmakers, can definitely not be productive, and the defense still shows up and shows out. And Parsons kind of the same, kind of sort of, but it is what it is. It happened. It's voting's over with, but that's why you can't always put your heart, put your mind, body, and soul into the vote, into the awards. You gotta know for yourself what you are, how you are, who you are. I'm sure Watt knows or thinks he's probably the best defensive front seven player or edge rusher in the NFL right now. So it is what it is. But that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.